I woke up one morning, and something about the room felt off. The sunlight spilling across the floor seemed sharper, the air somehow heavier, more electric. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, but the moment I caught my reflection in the mirror, my stomach dropped. It wasn't just a bad hair day. It wasn't sleep. My jaw was softer, my cheeks fuller, and my lips. My lips were plump, pink, almost delicate. I blinked in disbelief. My chest pressed against the fabric of the t-shirt I had slept in, and for the first time, I felt a subtle curve where there had been none. My body. It had changed. Drastically. Panic surged. I pressed my hands to my face, chest, hips, trembling. No. This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. But the subtle weight, the gentle sway of my hips, the softness of my skin, confirmed it. Something, someone, had altered me. And then I remembered her. She had always been helpful, always insisting I try her vitamins, her supplements, promising energy and vitality. I had laughed it off, never suspecting the truth. Fear and disbelief clawed at me, but underneath, a tiny spark of curiosity flickered. I traced my fingers along my new contours, the unfamiliar softness. My voice trembled when I whispered, "What have you done to me?" Getting through the day was surreal. Every reflection in a window, every polished surface at work, reminded me that I wasn't the person I had been. Even my favorite shirt looked tight across my chest, my jeans hugged curves I hadn't known existed. The first elevator ride was a nightmare. I could feel eyes lingering, whispers brushing past me. At work, I tried to act normal. But it was impossible. My coworker, a longtime friend, blinked twice. You look different," they stammered. I froze, my hands shaking. "Yeah. I just feel a little off today," I muttered. My voice sounded higher, softer, more melodic than I remembered. Panic spiked. Conversations felt alien. Every glance, every whisper, reminded me that my life had shifted into something unrecognizable. Lunch was worse. Whispers. Curious glances. Stares that made me flush. I wanted to vanish, to disappear behind a book, a jacket, anything. But I couldn't. I was trapped in this new body. Trapped in this new identity. And worse, there was no one to explain it to without sounding insane. That night, alone in my room, I faced my reflection again. Fear and embarrassment battled with a strange curiosity. Tentatively, I opened her wardrobe, soft fabrics, lacy tops, tight skirts. My pulse thundered. I picked a short skirt and a fitted blouse, feeling the soft fabric against my skin, pressing against curves that weren't there yesterday. I applied makeup slowly, hesitantly, lip gloss, blush, mascara, subtle eyeshadow. Each stroke reshaped my reflection, accentuating features I hadn't known I had. I practiced tilts of the head, playful glances, soft smiles. My voice quivered when I tried to speak, but it was melodic. Lighter. Playful, almost teasing. For the first time, I felt a rush of thrill. A forbidden, exhilarating curiosity. I practiced walking in heels, feeling the sway of my hips, the way the clothes hugged every curve. Recording myself on my phone felt strange, embarrassing, but watching later, I saw someone entirely new. Vulnerable, yes, but undeniably alive. Days passed, and I experimented more boldly. A coffee run, a quick grocery trip, small walks in public. Each outing was terrifying at first, whispers, stares, subtle judgments, but gradually, I began noticing the thrill. The attention was electric. My movements became deliberate, my gestures calculated. I could feel the power in the way people reacted, in the subtle sway of my hips, the tilt of my head, the soft lilt of my voice. She watched, guiding subtly. "You're learning," she said one evening, brushing hair from my face. "But don't just look like her. Be her." Every word, every glance, every movement. I followed her advice meticulously. By the third week, I was testing small social scenarios, a boutique, a park, a coffee shop. Compliments came, some shy, some hesitant. Whispers followed me, eyes lingered. I realized the fear hadn't vanished, but it mingled with thrill. The panic of exposure became a heady rush. I was alive in a way I hadn't known before. The first real public test came at a small gathering she organized. Friends, colleagues, neighbors, everyone familiar, everyone seeing me in this new body for the first time. Panic clawed at me as she dressed me in a fitted dress, applied flawless makeup, and whispered, "Tonight, they'll see what she's become." The moment we entered, eyes found me instantly. Conversations paused, glasses hovered mid-air, whispers spread. My chest tightened. But instead of fleeing, I straightened my shoulders, tilted my head, and stepped forward. "Yes," I said softly when someone gasped. "It's me." Shock, confusion, and curiosity radiated from every direction. Some laughed nervously, others stared, some whispered compliments. And in that moment, a strange sensation washed over me: power. I could command attention simply by existing, by moving, by being. The night continued as a dance of confidence and observation. I experimented subtly with every gesture: tilts, smiles, sways, soft laughter. I noticed the way people responded, how compliments and attention made my pulse race, how fear had shifted into thrill. By the end, I realized something profound: I didn't need to hide. I didn't need to apologize. I was alive fully, in a way I hadn't imagined. Later on the balcony, she turned to me, the city lights painting our faces. "Tonight, you faced them. You were seen. And you didn't shrink. Do you understand?" I swallowed, the wind brushing my hair. I think I am beginning to understand. I am her. And I can't go back. Her eyes gleamed. "Exactly. Now it's your choice: hide, or embrace fully." For a long moment, I hesitated. Old fears tugged at me, the possibility of judgment, ridicule, or rejection. But beneath it, a thrill surged. I am who I am now. I choose this. I choose her, I whispered. She smiled. "Good. Because she's beautiful. And she's yours." By the time we returned home, I walked differently. Every step deliberate, every sway intentional. Conversations were easier. Compliments felt deserved. I wasn't hiding. I was presenting myself fully, deliberately, confidently. The transformation wasn't just physical, it was psychological, emotional, total. Standing before the mirror later, I traced my lips, fingers lingering on my soft curves. I whispered softly, almost to myself, "I am her. And I am proud. I am alive. I am free." Fear had transformed into empowerment. Panic into confidence. I had crossed a threshold, from secrecy and doubt to presence and self-acceptance. I had been forced into this life, but the choice to embrace it made it mine. And I knew, looking at her reflection, that there was no turning back. This was my life now. My identity. My freedom. After the shock of that first morning, I couldn't focus on anything else. Every mirror, every reflection in my apartment seemed to scream at me, "You are not who you were." I touched my face, my chest, my hips, trembling. Soft curves, full lips, delicate features. All foreign, yet undeniably mine now. Fear clawed at me, but curiosity crept in, tentative and dangerous. I waited until the apartment was empty, then cautiously approached her wardrobe. Silk, lace, soft fabrics, clothes I had seen her wear but never imagined myself in. My heart pounded as I selected a short skirt and a fitted blouse, feeling the fabric against my skin. Every touch, every fold, made me hyper-aware of my body's new shape. Standing before the mirror, I barely recognized the reflection staring back. My lips glistened faintly from a swipe of her lip gloss, cheeks flushed with blush, eyes lined delicately with mascara. I tilted my head experimentally, trying out soft smiles, playful pouts, small gestures. My voice quivered as I whispered to myself, testing the new higher pitch. Each word felt foreign, and yet natural. A strange thrill ran through me, blending fear with excitement. The next few nights became a routine of secret experimentation. I practiced walking in heels, swaying my hips deliberately, tilting my head with subtlety, experimenting with posture and gestures. Each motion taught me something about her body, about how to move gracefully, how to present femininity as power rather than vulnerability. I recorded myself on my phone, nervously reviewing each video. At first, I winced, embarrassed. But slowly I began to notice something. This person, soft, playful, alluring, was undeniably me. I was learning how to inhabit this body fully, to manipulate the way I was perceived, to command attention without words. Applying makeup became ritualistic. Lip gloss, blush, mascara, subtle eyeshadow. I experimented with hairstyles, brushing my hair into waves or sleek styles, observing how the light caught my face differently. Even mundane movements, stretching, turning, sitting, took on new meaning, new fluidity. Each experiment, each small success, built confidence that I hadn't felt in years. Public outings were terrifying at first. A trip to the corner store, a short walk in the neighborhood, even stopping for coffee, the awareness of being observed made my pulse spike. Whispers, lingering glances, and casual stares felt overwhelming. Yet, amidst the fear, I found a flicker of excitement. People were noticing me, and I could feel the effect I had on them, subtle yet undeniable. Her guidance was always close, gentle. "You're learning," she said one evening, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear. "But don't just look like her. Be her. In every movement, every glance, every word." Her words resonated. I practiced meticulously, perfecting gestures, softening my voice, controlling my posture. My private exploration slowly merged with public experimentation. Outings to the park, boutique shopping, coffee shops, all became stages to refine my persona. Each interaction, each compliment or lingering glance, taught me something new about myself and the woman I was becoming. Then came the first real social test, a small dinner at her apartment with friends, neighbors, and colleagues. She dressed me in a shimmering fitted dress, applied flawless makeup, and whispered, "Tonight they'll see her." As we walked through the door, all eyes turned. Gasps, pauses, whispers. I felt the panic rise. My first instinct was to hide, to shrink back into the old me. But something inside shifted. I straightened my shoulders, swayed my hips gently, and stepped forward with deliberate confidence. "Yes," I said softly, yet clearly, when someone asked, voice melodic and warm. "It's me." Shock and curiosity radiated from every corner. Nervous laughter, careful smiles, lingering looks. I realized then that I wasn't hiding anymore. I was presenting myself fully. And for the first time, the thrill of being seen overcame my fear. The night was a blend of learning, confidence building, and subtle experimentation. Each tilt of my head, each playful smile, every careful gesture drew attention. The compliments, the looks, even the whispers, they no longer scared me, they energized me. By the end of the evening, I understood something crucial. The transformation wasn't just about appearances. It was about presence, control, and self-discovery. Standing on the balcony later, looking at the city lights, she turned to me. "You faced them," she said. "And you didn't shrink. Do you understand?" I took a deep breath, hair brushing my face. I think I understand. I am her. And I can't go back." Her smile was gentle, affirming. "Exactly. And now, it's your choice. Hide, or embrace fully." The wind blew softly, teasing loose strands of hair. For a moment, doubt tried to creep in. Could the world accept this new me? Could I? But then, I felt a surge of exhilaration. I am who I am now. I choose this. I choose her, I whispered. She grinned. "Good. Because she's beautiful, and she's yours now, entirely yours." By the end of that night, I knew it was irreversible. Each step I took, deliberate and poised, each glance and smile confirmed it. The transformation wasn't just physical. It was emotional, mental, and deeply empowering. The fear remained, but it had transformed into confidence. The panic into thrill. Alone in front of the mirror later, I traced my lips with my fingertip, soft curves and new contours reflecting the choices I had made. "I am her," I whispered softly. "And I am proud. I am alive. I am free." I had been forced into this life, yes, but the choice to embrace it made it mine. Completely, irrevocably, and beautifully. Weeks had passed since my first tentative experiments, and I had grown more confident in private, learning how to inhabit this new body. But I knew the real test was approaching. She had been patient, guiding me carefully, but now she wanted me to face the world fully, no hiding, no excuses. It started with a small gathering at her apartment. Friends, colleagues, neighbors, all familiar faces. My stomach churned as she helped me into a tight, sparkling dress, styled my hair perfectly, and applied flawless makeup. The heels made each step deliberate, my posture a careful practice in poise. She smiled, brushing a lock of hair from my face. Remember, tonight, you are her. Show them who you've become. Entering the apartment was like stepping onto a stage. Every eye turned instantly. Conversations halted mid-sentence. Glasses hovered mid-air. Whispers trailed behind us. My chest tightened, my pulse raced. One by one, familiar faces recognized me. Gasps, stifled laughter, wide eyes. "Is that really you?" someone stammered. I froze for a moment, panic clawing back. Then I straightened, shoulders back, chin high. My reflection in the mirrored wall reminded me, soft, confident, poised. My voice had a natural lilt now, playful yet assured. "Yes," I said softly, deliberately. "It's me." Shock rippled through the room. Some whispered, some stared openly, others tried to laugh it off. And then, something unexpected happened. I felt power. I realized that simply by existing, by moving and speaking deliberately, I commanded attention. I could shape how people perceived me. The evening was a delicate balance of observation and subtle control. Every tilt of the head, sway of the hips, small smile, I experimented, tested reactions. Compliments flowed, some shyly, some bold, and whispers lingered as people processed this new version of me. An old friend approached cautiously, eyes wide. "Wow, you've really changed," they said. "Yes," I replied, voice soft but confident. "I have." I realized then that I wasn't embarrassed anymore. I wasn't hiding. I was presenting myself fully, deliberately. For the first time, attention didn't terrify me, it exhilarated me. I could be seen. And in being seen, I felt alive. Later, on the balcony, the city lights spread beneath us. She stepped close, brushing her hand against mine. "You faced them," she said. "You were seen. And you didn't shrink. Do you understand what that means?" I took a deep breath, hair brushing my cheeks. I think I do. I'm her now. And I can't go back." Her smile was tender but firm. "Exactly. And now it's your choice, hide or embrace fully. No more half measures." The wind teased loose strands of hair, cool against my face. Old fears tried to creep back. The world might never fully accept me. But beneath it, a thrill surged. I am who I am now. I choose this. I choose her, I whispered, voice steady. She grinned, eyes sparkling. "Good. Because she's beautiful, and she's yours now, entirely yours." Returning inside, I walked differently. Each step deliberate, swaying hips, confident posture. Conversations became easier. Compliments felt natural, deserved. I wasn't hiding. I was present. Fully, unapologetically present. That night, standing alone before the mirror, I studied my reflection. Lips soft and full, hair cascading over my shoulders, curves accentuated by the dress. I traced the contours of my face gently, whispering, "I am her. I am proud. I am alive. I am free." Fear had transformed into confidence. Panic into exhilaration. What had started as forced experimentation had evolved into choice, and in that choice, I had found empowerment. I was no longer a victim of circumstance. I was a woman who had claimed herself. And in that reflection, I realized something profound. I had crossed a threshold. From fear and secrecy into confidence and presence. From being forced into this life, to embracing it fully. This was my identity now. My life. My freedom. After that night, something inside me shifted completely. I wasn't just surviving in this new body, I was thriving. Each day, each glance in a mirror reminded me that this transformation was no longer a burden, it was a revelation. I was learning not just to inhabit her, but to own her, to define her on my terms. The first morning alone, I dressed carefully, choosing a soft pastel dress that hugged my new curves gently. I brushed my hair into cascading waves, applied a touch of blush and lip gloss, and paused to study my reflection. Gone was the hesitation, the fear. Instead, a quiet confidence shone through. I was no longer hiding. I was present. Walking outside, I noticed subtle changes in myself. I held my head higher, moved more deliberately, and felt the awareness of my body, its power, its fluidity, like a quiet energy flowing through me. People looked, yes, but I no longer flinched. I returned smiles, tilted my head lightly, and felt a thrill in being seen. One afternoon, she took me to a small cafe, bustling with strangers. The first steps were familiar, the lingering stares, whispered comments, but now I met each glance with curiosity, not fear. I realized that what had once terrified me had become exhilarating. A stranger smiled warmly at me. "You look radiant," they said. I felt my pulse quicken, but this time in delight rather than panic. "Thank you," I replied, voice light and melodic, tilting my head slightly. And in that moment, I felt a profound truth. I was no longer defined by fear of judgment, but by my own presence, my own confidence. Weeks passed. I continued experimenting with style, posture, voice, and movement. I discovered nuances I had never noticed before, the sway of hips in heels, the softness in gestures, the subtlety of a smile that could captivate a room. Each discovery felt like reclaiming a part of myself I had never known. She watched, always supportive, guiding me gently. "You've grown," she said one evening, brushing a loose strand of hair from my face. "Not just in appearance, but in presence. You're finally yourself." And she was right. I felt it deep in my bones. I was finally myself. Not the person I had been before the transformation, not the person she had made me into, but the person I had chosen to become. The ultimate test came when we attended a small gathering of friends and colleagues again. This time, I didn't hesitate. I wore a fitted, elegant dress, heels clicking softly on the floor, hair styled to perfection. As we entered, eyes turned, whispers began, but instead of panic, I felt thrill. I moved gracefully, engaged in conversation, laughed lightly, and returned glances with soft confidence. Every word, every gesture, felt deliberate. By the end of the evening, I realized something I hadn't felt before: complete acceptance of myself. Not dependent on anyone else, not needing validation, simply being fully present. Back home, she wrapped her arms around me, a soft smile on her lips. "You've embraced her," she said. "Completely." I leaned into her embrace, feeling warmth and a sense of peace I had never known. "Yes," I whispered. "I have. And I'm happy. Truly happy." Alone later, I stood before the mirror, studying the woman reflected back at me. Soft curves, delicate features, luminous eyes, and yet, strength radiated from every movement, every tilt of my head. I traced my lips with my fingertip, smiling softly. "I am her," I whispered. "And I am proud. I am alive. I am free." For the first time, I understood that transformation wasn't just physical. It was mental, emotional, and spiritual. I had been forced into this life, yes, but I had chosen to embrace it. And in that choice, I had found empowerment, confidence, and freedom beyond measure. The world could see me now, and I no longer feared it. Because I had claimed myself, fully, unapologetically.